Welcome back to Chariot Palmistry, guys. Today we're continuing our series on Valmiki's Astropalmistry, and we're going to really get into Vedic Astrology today because in the last video you guys got a background on what the planets were and what they represented. Today we're going to teach you guys how to build and interpret a North Indian birth chart. Now this is what a North Indian birth chart actually looks like. It's essentially a rectangle with a big diamond in it and then a big cross running through the center of it too. And the houses in the North Indian birth chart are placed like this. So the first house is in that diamond at the very top. The second house is next to it, and then you get the third house, fourth house, and so on all the way around until you get all 12 houses. It kind of looks like a serpent sort of zigzagging its way around the zodiac system there. And these houses are then numbered based upon an ascendant. For example, you see the 6 in the middle here that we just call the first house? What that's telling us is that the first house here is the 6th zodiac sign. In other words, Virgo is the ascendant in this chart because Virgo is the 6th zodiac sign. And Libra, the 7th zodiac sign, is in the 2nd house. Scorpio, the 8th zodiac house, is in the 3rd house, and so on all the way around. And it's as simple as that. So let's actually have a look at some practical examples here. This is a birth chart over here, and you see that 3 in the middle? That's saying the first house has the 3rd zodiac sign in it, and that's Gemini. So what we can say here is that the ascendant in this chart is Gemini. And the moon is in the 4th zodiac sign, or rather the moon is in the 2nd house that represents the 4th zodiac sign, and that's Cancer. So the moon is in Cancer. The other way to say it is that the moon is in the lunar ascendant, because wherever the moon is, that house becomes the lunar ascendant. This is going to become more important a little later on when we talk about Ravan, but wherever the moon is, that's the lunar ascendant. Let's just remember that for now. Rahu is in the 3rd house, which is the 5th zodiac sign, and that's Leo. Now I want you to have a look at the 4th house here, the one with the 6 or the number 6 on it. The 6th zodiac sign is Virgo. So because the sun is in the 4th house of Virgo, we can say that Virgo is a solar ascendant here. So we can make the sun the first house in a solar birth chart. We essentially recreate the whole thing, make everything revolving around the sun. Now Jupiter's the other important one to look at over here. That's also in the same house as the sun. So we can say that Jupiter is in Virgo, and therefore Virgo is the Jupiterian ascendant as well as the solar ascendant. And this is the basics of how to understand a North Indian birth chart. If you know that number at the bottom of every square over here or every triangle, then you can figure out what the zodiac sign is associated with that, and you can just plug in the numbers accordingly. So here's another example. Over here we can say the ascendant in this chart is Pisces, because Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac. The sun is in Sagittarius, so the solar ascendant here is Sagittarius. The moon is in Libra, and therefore the lunar ascendant is Libra. That's the number 7. Jupiter is in Leo, and so Leo becomes the Jupiterian ascendant. And we'll cover more examples of birth charts later on in the tutorial videos, but the main takeaway to understand this is how simple it is just to look at a birth chart, and also how to find the different ascendants of various planets. Now later on in this video series we are going to talk about which character represents which planet, but the 4 main takeaways are the ascendant, the sun, the moon, and Jupiter, because they correlate to the 4 primary characters in the Ramayana. Alright guys, that's the end of this tutorial video. We are going to have more, so stay tuned for that. Thanks a lot.